Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Crypto Scene Investigation, where we have a look at various cryptocurrency projects and we ask ourselves, is this really worth investing in? Today we'll be looking at Ruffy. If you guys like what I do on this channel, please consider liking and subscribing. A little disclaimer, none of this should be considered as legal financial advice and should only be used for educational, inspirational, and entertainment purposes. And if you do end up liking the video, or you have maybe some information about this video which I did not cover, you're very welcome to comment that. I do ask that you don't just be a bunch of shillers and maxis in the comment section. And if I do end up roasting your project, then please just come back with facts instead of being like, you suck. So anyway, Ruffy, hi. Let's have a look at this. It says that we don't currently know the market cap according to coinmarketcap, but it says that its rank is 3,600 and the fully diluted market cap is 22 million. Total supply or max supply is 100 billion. So let's have a look at some of these things here. So as we can see, we're sitting around the quadruple zero mark. They had an all-time high at the triple zero, and then now we're sort of sitting at the lower triple zero, but it is higher than from when it was released. So what is Ruffy? How do I explain this? So essentially, they are a kind of like a metaverse project which like does a whole bunch of things. So they have, and they also have a video which is in 1080p. You know, that's a good time. That may not sound like much or quite a lot, but essentially they're sort of wanting to create this whole entire online world. So you know, they have like, so you can do AR, VR. They want to have like do concerts. You can do TED Talks. You can do go to comedy shows. You can purchase NFTs and tickets and stuff. You can interact. They even have like a little Love Island NFT thing. Sorry, not NFT thing. A little like you can also do online gym sessions as well. So pretty much like they're wanting to create this. Oh, and you can watch sports shows and stuff. So they wanted to create this kind of whole entire world online. So yeah, it's all pretty impressive to be honest, and it all looks good judging by that video. But we will be looking a little bit deeper and further into some of these little bits of jazz. So the first thing I want to mention is I found this video, and this sort of talks about their tokenomics. Now, we'll briefly have a look at their white paper regarding this. So it says with their tokenomics, so they have a buy tax, which is 10%, and that is they reward in USDT. So that's 5%, 2% buyback, 3% development, and then as you can see with the sell tax, that is 14%. Rewards in USDT, buyback or buy and burn is 2%, 3% development, and 3% marketing. Now, something to just think about or consider for a moment here is that from this video, it says that they can actually change the actual amount that is taxed, and the reason why they want to be able to do this is because it can be changed from 0 to 30%. Now, I'm not exactly sure where in the actual contract it would specifically say that it can only go up to 30%, but I am thinking that they would have the possibility to make it go higher if they wanted to. So just be aware of that. But the reason why they want to go the reason why they want to go for 30% would be to avoid bot or to have some bot and sniper protection, right? I personally don't understand how that would kind of work. If anybody knows, please feel free to explain. But I don't know how they could do that, like for like certain bots and snipers for putting it up to 30%. So that doesn't make much sense to me personally. But the 0% is because apparently, and I actually just learned this from this video, in order to actually get listed on some of the major exchanges, you actually have to have you actually are not allowed to have a token which is taxed. So it has to have a 0% tax to it. So I didn't actually know that, so I learned a little bit of that. So that's quite fascinating. Now, when we have a look on BSCscan, this looks clean as heck, dude. This is really clean. Yeah, I don't know much to say about this because pretty much like contract all around, and then you've got like the null address or the dead one, which is the burned tokens. And so yeah, I mean essentially there's just, it looks super clean in terms of the percentages, and so your boy really doesn't have much to complain about when it comes to these things. So let's have a look at some other metrics. So what does BSCcheck tell us? They say, so buy tax 10%, sell tax 14%, so they are being authentic when it comes to that. Now, here is something else which is interesting. So I was going through the frequently asked questions, and I was sort of trying to find out some extra information about these guys. And one thing which sort of stood out to me was this section right here. Is there a team wallet holding MR, and if so, are they locked/vested, right? Because that's an important question to ask. So it says, in order to offer our community the greatest possible security, our team holds 0% tokens. 0%. 0%. I mean, mind you, these are like contracts though, so can't really go and like yell at these guys, but yeah. It does say a little dev liquidity warning, but I'm wondering why they hold 1.13% if they say that they hold 0%. But they do say the only tokens available to the team are the ones that will be added to the staking pool, which will go live on day 1 of the launch. So maybe, and maybe this could be just me misreading things, is that maybe this actually comes under the staking pool. Yeah, so maybe that's being staked. I'm not entirely sure. If anybody knows, feel free to add your 2 cents. So these cannot find LP tokens, and these are some of the other token holders as well. So in terms of so it doesn't seem like that there is any sort of big whales that can essentially dump the coin, which is a pretty good time. Yeah, so I think that's pretty solid, to be honest. So we'll have a look at what Tokensniffer says about this jazz. So cool, same thing as before, buy fee, sell fee, cool. No price, similar token contracts, cool, that's a really good time. Ownership, so the ownership has not been renounced, which we did see on BSCcheck as well, which means that it could potentially have one of these 3 things happen to it, but we will have a look on Moonarch to see if there's anything which kind of stands out to us. And so it says for the current tokens burned, we have 13%, which we did see from that main wallet. Owner/creator wallet is 1.3%, and there is a bunch of liquidity present. And it looks like the lock/burn is heading all the way until the year 2032. So 10 years. That's interesting. Yeah, so it's kind of cool, I guess. Don't really have too many complaints. So the current liquidity which we have is around about 2,000 BNB, which is $700,000 worth, which is a good time. But when we do have a look on here, so it says that out of that liquidity, 99% of that is locked. And it says that the token age is only a month old, so these guys have probably actually got like a whole bunch of really good funding or backing behind this jazz. Because to have that much liquidity is quite impressive. So pink lock, so we can see what that jazz says there. So unlocked is 82%, owner 1%, burn 13%, and liquidity is 3.4%. Now let's have a look at some of these things. See if there's anything which sort of stands out to us. So they do have some red things. So check code of function ownable transfer ownership. So that either they've chosen to not implement that yet, or it's not really that much of a risk to us. Ownable new owner is the 0 address. So yeah, they haven't changed owner yet, or if they have, like, it's not really concerning. So as we can see, the owner and the creator wallet are actually both the same ones, so not really too concerned about that. Enable anti-bot, that's fine. Claim tokens, cool. So these kind of look pretty alright. Set fee receivers, switch token, purge before switch, whitelist pre-sale, update buy fees, update sell fees. So remember, so they can potentially update those fees, which could potentially mean that if they wanted to, now I'm not saying that these guys would do this, but they have the ability that they could do this, is that they could potentially increase the tax buy/sell fee all the way up to like 96% if they wanted to, which means that if you try to sell, then you're going to get like way less than what you actually had. So I don't think they're going to be doing that, judging from the things which I have seen. But just remember that they could do that. So beware of hidden mint. Take fee modifies balances. Whoo! That's interesting. So they could possibly do a hidden mint, which maybe we can't actually see. Which means that, because the total supply is 100 billion, right? So that could potentially mean that they could mint like a bunch of extras elsewhere or something like that. But one reason for why I think that maybe that may not be as heavily the case is because we currently have 82%, which is unlocked. And yeah, I don't know. I just don't really feel like they're gonna be doing that. But they could. So bear that in mind. They did say it has deployed at least three other contracts, but they've all got the sort of same name. So they may have done like some testnet ones or something like that. So yeah, let's have a look at some of the Twitter stats. So they've currently got about 6,000 followers. And it says user created on November 8th. So remember, these guys are very fresh. These guys are very, very new. So anything which I do say about these, keep in mind that because they are so mega fresh, that if there's anything which I say about them which is good or bad, those things could change quite easily, because they are very, very fresh. Yeah, so let's have a look. So in the last 30 days, they've had 6,185 followers. So it looks like these guys are definitely making a bit of traction. They're making a bit of traction. And when we have a look at some of the actual tweets from these guys, we can check the comments to see if there's any sort of spam or like, I don't know, like bot comments. Yeah, these look pretty standard. Nice, I love you. Gosh, that is hilarious. Yes. So yeah, Albank Exchange. So yeah, so coinmarketcap has not shown that they are on Albank Exchange yet. And we did actually see that tweet just then. So February 24th at 4 a.m. So yeah. So when they do go on the Albank Exchange, so Albank is number 25 on like the top exchanges currently. So it's pretty big. It's a pretty big one. Yes, and yeah. So these comments are very. So it seems like the community is quite interested. Where's the DAP button? Yeah. And from what it seems, it doesn't seem like these guys are sort of like spammy / bot comments. Although that does feel a bit spammy. But yeah, so I mean, maybe some of them might be, but I think that maybe people just really like the project, is sort of my guess. So Ruffy. So these are the Google Trends. So as you can see, they have kind of had like pretty much nothing for ages, but then, you know, like they're suddenly pumped up, and that would be because people would have actually started to discover them more. So then they might have had like some level of like a soft launch, and then they sort of have they've sort of come more onto the scene recently, as we can see for the last 30 days. And we'll see what else we can find out about this. So I did actually end up playing the game, which they have available, because you can actually currently play the game if you so wish. And it's very early access feeling. I was the only person online. So in order for a project like this to succeed, it definitely does feel like you need some kind of, what's the word? It definitely feels like you need like a big enough community to be able to support it and back it and actually use the system. Because without the community there, this kind of is just empty, really. And then so although they have, you know, these kind of big goals and dreams and everything, like it wouldn't be enough if they didn't have the community there. So as I say, remember, incredibly fresh, incredibly new. So yeah, so let's continue going through some of their frequently asked questions. The ones which sort of stood out to me is the team docs / KYC. So it says, of course, our whole team is doxed and KYC'd. We offer our community complete transparency. Now, to me, I don't believe that. You can't say you're doxed when you only put your first name and you don't put a LinkedIn. That, to me, doesn't mean that you are doxed. I mean, other people might have different sort of points of view. But I mean, you put up like a modified picture, which seems like it sort of suits the background. That doesn't tell me that you were doxed. I don't think so. I tried looking for interviews with these guys as well. So they have done a whole bunch of AMAs. Like they've done like hours worth of AMAs on YouTube. But I haven't seen any face AMAs. So, or any last name or anything like that. So the fact that like they sort of talk about we offer our community complete transparency. We have done official KYC at Pink Sale. So so Pink Sale, that's fine. So they've done their KYC with Pink Sale, which if you guys remember, Pink Sale is where they actually currently have that liquidity lock. But also, they say we also have no problem with being in front of the camera and showing our full commitment. So, I mean, I haven't seen anything regarding them in front of the camera, but keep in mind, because it's super early, maybe they just haven't had a chance to. Maybe, I mean, it definitely feels like they're sort of currently still in the, I guess, making phase, as opposed to the like marketing or the promoting phase, which I think is actually a smart move, really. So I don't really have too much issue with the fact that they haven't been on video yet, because remember, this is pretty mega fresh. How will Ruffy win against the competitors in the metaverse? So they don't really have an answer for this. It just kind of they just sort of describe how they are the pioneers in the field of entertainment, and that everybody is working together for the metaverse, or towards the big picture, which is the metaverse. This to me is a bit of a cheap answer in my opinion, because I mean, there are a whole bunch of other metaverse things, and I mean, people would more likely, I mean, as they've sort of mentioned, there are many large companies that drive the development of their products forward for the metaverse. So usually, I mean, what is it? The early bird catches the worm, but the rich man will likely get there first before the poor man. Yeah, so it sort of feels a little bit like that. And we did actually have a look at the locked investing thing under that as well. So we'll exit out of that. Actually, we'll briefly have a look at some of the other things regarding this. So these are some of the actual metrics. Actually, no, we'll look at these on the white paper. So on the white paper, so these are the metrics. So you've got like 0% team. Actually, sorry, I keep switching. So 8.4% marketing, 10% burn, which I mean is now like 14% currently. It would be nice if we did actually see maybe like an unlock schedule, like a graph showing an unlock schedule, just to sort of give us an idea of when the team gets things and how the team gets things. 37.2% ecosystem. Pre-sale liquidity. So I mean, yeah, a bunch of these look really delicious, to be honest, in terms of those tokenomics, which we did see there. But one thing which did sort of fascinate me is this line right here. When I was looking through the white paper, the tokenomics might change during the planning and developments of the project and will be adjusted accordingly to allow for a sustainable growth in the next months and years. So it does feel like these guys are here more long term. I mean, the fact that they have like a pretty largish team behind them. As I say, one of the other concerning things is that we don't know these guys' background. We don't know whether all these guys actually have the proper skills. Like, I mean, SR graphic designer, is he actually really good at graphic designing? PI expert, I mean, is he good at it? Like, we don't kind of know some of these things. I mean, we have blockchain developer, but where's metaverse developer? We have lead of in-game sound, but where's the like lead business development? Where's the actual like game thing or whatever? So yeah, so that's a little bit random. But one other thing to bear in mind though, is that so they are building this game on top of Unity, which is pretty cool, because Unity is a good boy. So roadmap, let's have a look at what the roadmap says. So we're currently sort of sitting here. So phase 1 before private sale. I think in their video, which they described, I think it was the tokenomics one, which I showed you guys way early on. I believe they actually showed on their, like, if you missed out on this sale, then jump onto this sale, and if you missed out on this one, jump onto this one. So yeah, so it looks like we're currently in the before private sale. No, actually, I take that back. We're like right here. What the heck? This is January, and then February/March. So we should be like right around there. We have ticks next to a whole bunch of everything. So, actually, but we don't have ticks next to everything. So XT listing, cool. Hotbit, cool. Gate.io, love Gate.io. That's a good time. Kucoin advertising. So looks like they've actually done a bunch of the stuff which they've set out to do, which I think is wonderful. Mint your NFT, redesign, DApp. Yeah. So honestly, this is looking pretty tight, to be honest, in terms of that. But it does feel like, so this is me being a bit nitpicky, but the roadmap does feel a bit smaller than I'd sort of hope. So what I mean by that is it it does feel like they could do more because they've done so much already. I mean, this is very impressive, the fact that they've got ticks next to all of these things, but I feel as though, like, as an investor, we want to know what are they still improving on, what are they still working on, so that we know that by investing in this project, that we will continuously be able to receive, I guess, benefits and funds from it. Yeah, and I kind of feel like that's it for the video. I'll give you guys my summary anyhow. So my summary for whether or not you should invest into this. I think invest into it because you believe in what these guys are doing. Do I think that the price is probably going to go up from here? I don't know with this one, guys. This one is massive hit or miss. So the things which are kind of good. So when we had a look on BSCscan, it's clean. I mean, bscheck and tokensniffer, both of those look pretty clean as well. We don't see anything which is greatly threatening. I mean, the things which could be threatening would be some of these sort of fee changes and possible hidden mint, which could be done. Yeah, and there's not really much other sort of threats which we can kind of see. Yeah, so generally, and I mean, as I say, because of all the contracts and burn addresses and everything, I mean, this seems like a safe investment if you do want to invest into this. It seems like a safe investment. Just a sort of few extra concerns, I mean, regarding the team and everything. So yeah, so it would be nice if we maybe see some possible videos of the team themselves. Yeah, but otherwise, cool, guys. Yeah, if you do want to play the game, it's free. I signed up, made a free account, and yeah, it's not quite to my liking yet, but it feels very indie and early access, so yeah. Cool. So anyway, guys, that was my video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you did end up enjoying the video. If you didn't like the video or you want to add some extra comments, you're very welcome to. I do ask that you be kind and generous with your comments as well, though, because yeah, I mean, trying to create a healthy community where, like, we're not just a bunch of like angry shillers and maxis. Yeah. So also I got a little Patreon thingy. If you wanted to join that, you can get some special benefits if you were to join it. Don't worry, that says NZD. That's like my currency, New Zealand dollar, New Zealand. Yeah, so it's actually like 5, 10, and 20 for the for those things. So yeah, if you wanted to support my journey financially, that'd be really wonderful. Yeah, but otherwise, ka kite anō. I hope that this video was insightful to you, and yeah, hear from you later.